So yeah. All right. If you've been watching for a while, you know that the last few videos I've suggested that there are things going on at the house that I cannot talk about for reasons, essentially legal reasons. It's like under contract, and I don't, it's like not getting out of hand, not doing anything like that. But yeah, this happened. It happened for a reason. It is getting fixed. I don't know how long it will take. We're hoping that it won't be weeks or months. I'll just say nothing more. On the good side, Melissa she's the one that owns the company that did the clean out, the original clean out of the house and all the inventory and stuff. And I cannot thank them enough for doing that. It's just it's a shit job, but someone has to do it. And they do it with some care and actual compassion. And it's rare and cool to see that. She and her crew have been doing just amazing work in cleaning out the basement, because we can't actually work on the house now. It's a great time for her team to come in and do all the work in the basement and get that cleaned up, because the water runs downhill, and the basement was soaked really bad. I think today there were 3 dumpsters pulled out of stuff that was just unrecoverable. And yeah, it's a little embarrassing and demeaning, but at the same point, I am super glad that I have people that are good at this. So, that's kind of the update on the house stuff. You know that I will have a story once all of this is done, as much as I can tell. That remains to be seen. Yeah, well, you'll hear some things, I'm sure. Okay. The little girl, Artemis, she was scheduled for her spay. I took her in for her pre-surgery blood check and the health check and all that stuff. And flying colors, she's in great health. She's an energetic, wonderful dog. And I got her home, and I don't know if it was just the stress of being at the vet, because it was pretty stressful. But she started her first cycle. Yeah. So when that happens, we have to put the spay on pause for, I guess we're looking at 2 months before we're going to do anything with it. So I get to go through that. Never been through that before. Yay. But, she's a wonderful girl, and I love her to death. And I want to make sure that she's okay, and that she knows that she's safe. And she's really happy. She's out in the backyard right now playing, and Piper is busy chewing on a bone in the living room, I guess. So yeah, it's an exhausting week. My partner on the project that I was working on had his last day on Monday. It was kind of abrupt, in not that it was really abrupt, in that there was just some weird communication. He evidently didn't know about it until Sunday night. So I had to meet with him to try and get some level of understanding of what it was he was doing. I know the basics of it, so we had a quick meeting to go over things. I got some information, but it's, you know, a meeting, an hour or two to go over things, and I don't know the depths of his mind. You know, all these things that were going on. He's in a completely different. He's on a completely different board than I've been working on. But I get to take over, and okay, I that's fine. I'm willing to do that. Everybody knows that this is going to affect the timing. I'm trying to lead with how to take this on because I have things that I'm working on right now that I want to close out. And so, yeah, we've got a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of chaos, and I am trying to help lead us out of that chaos. And then there were some special requests that came in today. So it's like, okay, and kind of talk through them about how to do it, and so I'm going to probably try and take those on as well. They don't seem to be overly onerous. I was able to scenario it down to, okay, if we do this, is this okay? And it was like, yes, okay, that will be fine. And so I'm going to try and do that. It's probably going to be this sprint. It's like, I think we go 2 weeks. So if I can get those done, that's going to help these folks do their testing and get the thing out. And I'm all about that. I like supporting my crew. So, there's a little bit of crunch time, but I think it's okay. I think it'll be fine. I'm kind of used to handling crises. It's weird, and it's kind of my role at work. There's this. I guess this thing happens when you're a contractor. You generally get called in when things are falling behind or in trouble or whatever, and learning to become agile in what you do and your approach, and be able to change your approach on, like, to restructure everything to fit the new circumstances. I tended to be really good at that. So hopefully this will work. It also reminds me that my 1-year anniversary is coming up. So I'm guessing November. I think November is kind of the time frame. So yeah, I'll be going away as well. And I have to figure out the next thing. So I'm gonna start, pushing that toward my agency rep and say, hey, let's start looking for the next thing. Let's start seeing if there's something out there, and testing the waters. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. Who knows what the job market's going to be like? I'd like to get back into medical devices again. That's where my heart lies. But I don't know. There's a lot of things that I can do. A lot of knowledge that I have, and some of it I'm taking with me on projects that I want to do, and hopefully I will have time to work on those projects once the house is rebuilt and I get to move back in. This will be over. It will end. I will have a home again. Right now is a very complex and difficult time. So, yeah, I guess that's it for now. Yeah. See you guys.